Okay, folks, this is Red with Rev It Up Mustang Fanatic Productions. You can see Elizabeth, she's still covered up during the COVID-19 pandemic. We're on the flattening of the curve side. A little bit of things are reopening in Myrtle Beach, but we still have a stay-at-home order. So to get some content on our YouTube channel, we have my wife's 2012 Hyundai Tucson. And what we're going to be doing is some brake maintenance. We're going to take a look at the front brakes. I've done them last year and they're beginning to squeal a little bit. So we're going to see what they look like. We're going to do a little bit of brake maintenance. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to get my Daytona jack here. This is a 3-ton jack. And then we're going to get these little 1.5-ton jacks. And we're going to jack the car up. And we're going to wing the tires off, and we'll show you how to do, I call it a brake tune-up. So we'll be back in a shorty. So we'll use our impact socket to wing them off. And the rotors doesn't look too bad. You can see where I put a new stud in on there. And that stud is right there. So now we go in our cabinet. We get the proper tools that we need. And we have a 14mm that we use to loosen the caliper bolt up with here. And maybe it goes down. Yep. The bottom caliper bolt. And you just want to do that, and you can take them loose by hand. And I always place them in my toolbox to keep a look at them, and then the caliper should just slide right off. And then we just want to put that up out of the way. Now, we want to inspect the brakes, which the brakes look very good. Brakes got plenty of shine to them. So what we're going to do is check the sliding pins. Yep, that's the problem. This sliding pin is almost stuck. So what we're going to do, show you guys how to clean up the brake caliper bolt. Now this should be, to get the caliper bolt off, it should be a 17mm. I want to think. And let's see if we got that. 17mm. I think this one is it right here. Nope. And I usually use one of my bigger ratchets to get that bolt loose. And I don't seem to have the right one. Let's see where all my sockets at here. This one could be it. Yep, that's the one right there. It's my 17mm. And that cracked it loose. Now we do the bottom caliper bolt, which is right there. And they should just about be ready to twist out by hand. So we're twisting them out by hand now. And as you can see, there is anti-seize on these threads, so the threads don't become stuck, because there's a lot of heat and dust that collects on here and rust from the car being outside. Well, it's driven in the rain and dusty roads, and this is what happens to these brake calipers. Now, since these are both essentially the same bolts, I just put them right down there. Now, the brake hardware sort of slipped out, which is nothing. They just pop back in like this. You just want to make sure you line them up properly, and you'll see where it lines up in here, nice and centered, and you just clip them back on. But for the rotor, you would normally just beat this, or you can stick a bolt in here and just wind the bolt in on that caliper, and it'll push the rotor out. But these rotors have been off before, and then you see the holes. Make sure those holes line back up when you put the rotor back on. That rotor is in excellent shape. So now we're going to show you how to do a brake tune-up. So that brings us back into the garage on my trusted table, and we're going to show you how to do a brake tune-up to stop these things from squealing. Okay, so now here's all my stuff. Okay, I got brake and caliper grease, what you're going to need, or you can get this kind. It's the same thing, but that comes with a brush, which I like. Then I have brake parts, brake cleaner, which is over here. So I got my brake clean. Now I got to make like a little chemical wash station. So here's my little chemical wash station that I'm going to make. Okay, this is just a little carton of eggs or something I had in this box. I don't remember. But anyway, so this is how you do it. Now, on the brake hardware, you want to spray it down good with this lubricant. Then you want to get a steel brush. And I have a steel brush that I use. Is it up here? All right, come on, steel brush. Isn't that something? I gotta find me a wire brush. Okay, let's see. Where do I have some wire brushes? You know, I see them all over the place when I don't need them, and then when I need them, I don't see them. And I saw a whole bunch of them the other day. My mechanic's toolbox. Mechanic's chair toolbox. Here we go. Gotcha. Get your little steel wire brush. It's done dried up. So, and you just want to scrape and get all the junk and oxidation and the dirt off of the brake hardware kit. Any kind of steel brush would do the job. And this is what I call brake maintenance. So what's happening here is the pads are not sliding properly because the brake hardware has buildup on it of dirt and probably a little bit of rust, and it's not oiled well. So you just clean them up. They don't have to be perfect, but as long as you get the dust off of them is what you want to do. Now I'm only going to video record one side because the other side is going to be the same. So you would know exactly what to look for and what to do. And I recommend doing this probably once a year. And it's not hard to do. You saw it in the video so far of how to take off the rotors, the brake rotors, the caliper, and the caliper holder. And you use a wire wheel to clean them up. Now, usually if you buy the good set of brakes, the standard brakes that come factory with this is going to cost a little more, but they're ceramic coated. You don't want to get that semi-metallic stuff. That's no good. You want to get the metallic coated ones, which are a whole lot better, and they come with the new brake hardware kit. So you wouldn't have to worry about having to clean this old hardware. But like I said, this is no big deal of cleaning this hardware, and it's relatively simple. Even a caveman can do it. Old Geico commercial. So then you take a little rag and then you just clean off the surfaces that you just sprayed, and this is looking 100% better. Better. Now, for these sliding calipers, be careful when you take these out, because one of them will have a little rubber bushing on the end of it, and the other one won't. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But you just turn them until they pop loose. Now you see that pin? That pin looks pretty good. There's nothing much wrong with that pin. So all you do is take and wipe the old grease off. And make sure it's not rusted. And then you take your caliper brake grease and you just want to put some on this new sliding pin. It's not a new sliding pin, but the sliding pin. And then what you want to do is twist it in like this. You don't want to hit no metal contact. Now when you push this in, that rubber boot should automatically clamp. See that? It clamps. So now this right here moves freely. Nice and easy. This one, this is the one where the problem was. We're stuck. So you just twist and twist and twist, and it sticks it. And you can see right now that this one is rusted. And you can see the difference on here. There's something missing there, but hopefully it's something that seals inside there. But this is the pin that had the problem. And this is why her brakes were sticking on her vehicle. So let's clean this old dirt up. And in cases like this, you can take this over to a bench. Put it in the bench. Get you a little power tool. Get you a wire wheel. And then you can just kind of lightly go around here and clean it up. You don't want to put no grooves in it or anything. Just go around here lightly and clean it up. Doesn't take much pressure. You want to get that rust off of it. And that's all you want to do. And that looks a whole lot better. So then we take our cloth, go over it. You can see it shining a lot better. And then we take some lube. And we want to lube this pin up. This sliding pin. This is the brake caliper sliding pin. Okay. You want to get that lubed up. And then stick it back in. You want to twist it, and then you see it clips right in. If there's an air bubble in there, just push down and open up and squeeze down. The air bubble will come out. And now we have sliding pins that slide nice and easy. No problem at all. Now what you want to do, the brakes slide on this inner recess, so you want the pads to be able to move on these little recesses in here. So you want to add a little bit of grease to where the brake make contacts at, and the brakes slide right in there on them. Okay, so that's how you do that. Now what I'm going to take and do is show you how to do the brake caliper or the piston. The brake piston, you want to take the caliper and push it in. Since we're reusing these brake pads, we want to do it easy. So they should fit, but I want them to fit proper. I don't want to struggle. So I'm just going to push it in slightly, because we're reusing these brake pads. And so Hey. All right, squeezing the piston in just a little bit, and she's going in. Huh? Uh-huh. Now that's all I need to do to squeeze that piston in. That's how you squeeze the calipers in. Now, next thing you want to do, the brake surface, you want to check the rubber around here. The rubber is fine. You also want to grease where the brake make contact at. And it makes contact right around this metal on the outside. So you want to put a little bit of lube right there. And just spread it around. Okay. Now the rotor's back in place. Now we want to get our caliper brake holder, and remember, these are the sliding pins. They go on the inside. And so now you want to mount your caliper bracket holders back in place. That's one bolt. Get the other bolt. Now remember, these already have anti-seize on it. And so we tighten them up finger tight. And once they're finger tight, then you want to get your ratchet, and we want to torque them to spec.
You got too many.
Tell her about it.
But she got it so pretty though.
Oh, you get on out of here starting trouble.
Get on that what she doing. Yeah, I agree on it.
Get your wood.
And 2 ohms is the torque. It took me 2 ohms to get them off, so 2 ohms to torque them. 1 ohm.
You got a spray?
2 ohms. So that's that. Now, those are already greased. I got grease on the back where that pad is going, and that's how you can tell which pad went where. You can see the piston on the back of that. So now you slide your brake pads in.
Yeah, that's great. I see what you do. Tell them to come in. Bring them on. You know how I tell them. Shit, I ain't working for free.
Okay, we got that outer pad, inner pad in. Now we want to put the outer pad on. And remember that the longer radius part faces the outside, the lower radius goes inside, so you don't get confused on that. And then you just slide these down into the ears and voila. And you can see that that did slide in and out, so it is working. Sometimes it's hard to see, so let me just turn the wheel to where I can see. And there we go, and you can see those slide in good. So now we'll slide the brake caliper back over, make sure it's not twisted. Push the push pins in, get our caliper bolts, put the caliper bolts back in, and again we go by ohms. Okay, 1 ohm, 2 ohms, 1 ohm, 2 ohms, and then we'll give a slap, and that way we know it's tight. So now we want to twist our wheel back over so we can get our wheel on. See you later. Huh?
She said you so busy.
I could put air in them.
All of them. Ain't gonna take my minute.
I'll put this tie right on, and I'll air it up.